Hello, YouTubers. Dave out in Western Pennsylvania. I am running through some simple cycle testing with a package of lithium-ion secondary cells. These are probably in the package for about 3 years. They worked very well in the past for the price. I got them on eBay. They claim 5,800 milliamp hours. I guess that's if you bring it down to 0 volts and destroy it, but that's what they claim. 3.7 volts. What's interesting, a lot of these companies don't give you any information on cutoffs, but here they tell us charge it up 4.2 volts. I hope you can see that. Maybe not. 4.2 volts. And a cutoff of 2.75 volts. I use ZKE, battery tester electronic load. We have about 10 at school. I teach undergrads. I'll be retiring at the end of June and continuing my research with students. And these are very affordable. I picked them up on Amazon. Now, this is the important thing. If you want to do cycle testing with secondary cells, supercaps, make sure you get model EBC-A10H. Do not get 20H. It only does single tests. So this model, and they're the same price the last time I checked. Very affordable. Now, here is the software EB tester, and when you get the device in, it will give you the website so you can download the software. EB tester. Here's what the icon looks like on my we have a bunch of older computers that I devote to this. I'm in my office right now. I'm not down at school. And you can see I'm doing right now, I'm running 50 cycles with one of these to make sure everything's okay. And in the cycles, I'm using constant voltage, 3.7 volts. And the current draw is 600 milliamps with a cutoff of 0.20 amps. So CCV, first step. Then I wait 2 minutes, and I'll tell you why that is in a minute. And then in the third step, I go with constant current discharge to 3.0 volt cutoff. I don't want to go down to 2.75. Now, why am I using 3.7 to 3.0? Well, I'm going to be including graphite materials in the circuit. But as for the discharge, I also am drawing 600 milliamps. And then in the third step, I wait 2 minutes to allow the cell to rest. And then I'm running through 50 cycles. So you can see some of the data so far. It's in a wait period right now. So in any event, this package of lithium ions seems pretty good based on the one sample. And where am I going from here? Well, I work with what I define as dry and wet circuits with graphite materials. I work with graphite felt and graphite yarn. It's also called twine. And we do nickel plating, cobalt nickel alloy plating on the felt and on the twine. And I work with supercaps with selected deep-eutectic solvents. And then I use lithium tetrafluoroborate electrolyte, which dissolves in the choline chloride urea. I don't have the numbers in front of me. My student has it, but we've made a couple of molar ratios of the choline chloride and urea. This, I think one of them is a 1 to 2 molar ratio. I'll post it. I'll write it down. That's a very cheap DES, very easy to prepare. heating up to about 60 degrees for maybe a half an hour until it becomes molten, and it stays liquid at room temperature. And I like the lithium tetrafluoroborate test electrolyte. Now here you can see I have a AA dummy battery. And I get these on Amazon. There's also yellow types that you can pick up at eBay. I get these on Amazon. The yellow ones, I will warn you, dissolve in dimethylformamide. They just decompose in 24 hours. These white ones do not. And I have in here right now a sample of graphite twine with some cotton in there, but I've not added any solvent, DES solvent or electrolyte to this. This is what I define as a dry circuit. I'm going to place this in the circuit with the lithium ion. That's why I'm using 3.7 volts. I want to see if I can run first the graphite felt in 50 cycles in circuit with the lithium ion battery cell. And I want to do runs from 3.7 to 3.0 because commercial supercaps with organic solvents, DMF, methyl carbonate, and others, I'm trying to use DESs. And they're closely related to ionic liquids, deep-eutectic solvents. I want to see if I can move up from 2.7 volts. That in industry is quite arbitrarily used as an upper potential, 2.7 volts. And I want to see if I can rely on a DES with an electrolyte being able to be raised to a potential, let's say, of 3.7 volts. And I'll be using a current draw in the cycles of 600 milliamps. That's why I'm taking it from 3.7 to 3.0. I don't want to damage the lithium ion cell, but I want to see if I can then start to use the sample of graphite yarn or felt with DES and the electrolyte and do cycles at 3.7 to 3.0, and I'll run 500. I can go up to 999 with this electronic load. And of course, if you want to go and run another or a second series of cycles, it's up to you. But I want to go up to eventually about 500 cycles. Now with supercaps in industry, they can go up to 1 million cycles. But if there's going to be damage, I'll probably see it very quickly if it's not going to work. So I hope you see what I'm driving at. I'm going to place samples of graphite in with the lithium ion, do cycles, see if it's okay. Then add DES. That would be a wet circuit. Now, my definition of dry and wet is not the same as used by an electrical engineer or electronics engineer. My dry means graphite being tested with no contact with solvent or electrolyte. A wet would be soaked with DES, which may or may not have the electrolyte. And I like working from 3.7 to 3.0. That's what I'm hoping to go from 2.7 commercials up to 3.7. So right now, this is simply a run with the lithium ion first. Then I will put the graphite sample. I also use plastic containers. I'm not restricted to the AA cylinders. And I'll talk about that in another video. But I put that right in, and I'll hook it up with the negative feed. And that would run continuous. In other words, this would be attached directly to the negative, or by convention, black. So it's part of the circuit. And then we can see if it interferes with the lithium ion values that I'm getting up here. Thanks for watching. I'll be putting data in the write-up here. Give me about 24 hours, and I'll add to this as I do experiments. Thank you for watching. Any questions, get a hold of me. Bye for now.